One more game is going to decide it. Who will move through, IG or EG? That's a real sexy beat. That does not really appropriately show how stressful this situation is for these two teams. I feel phenomenal right now. What a soothing melody. Let's actually talk about how we got all the way to this game 3, though, Kyle. Kyle, I know this draft made you silent for a few seconds. How do you actually feel about it now that you got to see it for both sides in action?
I feel like I've seen EG, every game they lose at a main event feels like they lose this way. I love the way that JT balled out. Klink's build was great, the Deso into the Hex, but to me it's just IG playing with tempo. EG can't match it. They feed around the side lanes for a while. Eventually IG win the game. Like, I don't know, Grant, you were a bit upset backstage. You have any thoughts?
No. This is typical EG, you know, you take the big ones. Yeah, I don't have many, but no, you take the losses and they happen, right? We literally talked about it, the game ended like 21-5 yesterday when they lost. It pretty much ended the exact same way. You go and you feed in lanes after you lose your lanes. And we talked, EG looked good in game 1, why? They won their lanes. They looked terrible game 2, why? Well, they picked an anti-mage and, you know, Sind, what would you have picked instead?
I don't know. There were many options. I think Lycan could have been good for them.
I mean, just anything up tempo, right? Yeah, like up tempo.
The thing is, though, when you did see that game play out, I feel like it kind of showcased what we were concerned about with this anti-mage pick, that you have these 4 heroes together on EG that want to fight, that can't group up and take fights. And if you want to pick anti-mage as the last hero for that kind of lineup, I think it needs to be the last pick of the entire draft, where you see all of the enemy's heroes, you feel like, okay, they cannot one-up us on tempo and take advantage of this dead hero, but that was the 9th pick, and they got punished really hard.
That was kind of exactly what you guys said when you actually saw it, too. Kyle kind of had that idea of, okay, maybe this is an insurance policy, maybe it's something that can allow you to do a late game, and very, very quickly the idea was, yeah, but there are now enough options that you can actually pick against it. I know, Grant, you wanted to look at some of the key moments of the game, though, and actually break it down for everyone at home.
Yeah, I'd love to. This was the first fight. This one was the one right after Roche. So EG decided, you know what? They just took Roche. They're 10K stronger than us. Let's run into them. And I like it because you got to make something happen. But Abed blinks in, instantly dies. The fight's over. The fight is literally already over. The Doom gets slept. Doesn't even get it off. He pops BKB, dies 3 seconds later. IG's team fight was just insanely good. And when you look at their draft, you're like, was it going to be like that with an Arc Warden and Klinks? And this is the first time we've seen Klinks this tournament, I believe, and it looked really good. And like you said, it's up tempo and it counters the anti-mage, as you said, because it was a 9th pick, not a 10th pick.
And their weakness is that they can get ran at. Klinks
Look at instant cancel on the grip, by the way, sorry.
Yeah, just Klinks hates playing against, you think counters, it's heroes like, Chaos Knight. Anything that can, it's obviously not meta, but the idea is you get up and personal with these heroes. The supports are squishy. And it just feels crazy to me. Rubik didn't steal, it seemed, a single spell except for Doom, because he's the luxury of just camping in the back. Bane picked off Artor 2 or 3 times, because there just isn't much pressure.
Great play by
there isn't pressure. Abaddon had a rough start. Ramses thought he was playing Timbersaw. He was on Abaddon. And
he died solo to JT in lane as well. Like, Centaur wins the lane, but you don't want to die 1v1 ever.
It shouldn't be a thing, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Sin, I'm kind of curious, in chat, there's this, it looks like some sort of equation. It's PP hands, and then there's like an arrow in an airplane. I just don't understand why chat keeps saying things like this.
They're just crying that they couldn't make the flight to Leipzig, and they wish they were here in the crowd. So
we have the lucky ones with us right now. Are you guys having an okay time out there?
They are. Hell yeah. I mean, we're getting some good Dota, right? 2-1, a close 2-0, and now we're going to a game 3, last game of the day. It's good.
What do you guys want to see change for either of these teams when we actually come into this one? Maybe IG here was able to pick up momentum.
I mean, first of all, I think, we should be able to call a spade a spade. This was just not a good game from Ramses. Like, the individual performance from him was pretty disappointing this game, and I'm sure he doesn't feel good about it. You have an off game, it happens to everybody. You reset, you go into the next game, and you do better. He needs to definitely focus a little bit more. It seemed like lapse of concentration a lot of the times. Like, he was making aggressive plays on the map that didn't really make any strategic sense. Like, even if he's baiting heroes there, they didn't really...
That's easier said than done, right? If you remember that show match where you got brutalized by Dendi, you were still upset about that yesterday. So, there isn't as much time to recover. He's got maybe 10 minutes before he's back in the saddle.
Absolutely devastating.
I just
Sorry, Sam.
EG is a
He
solid.
needed to take like a little bit of time before he even came to this tournament after that shell match.
That's true.
No, but on the other way around, I love how IG just straight up opened Rubik Centaur. After getting dominated in the game before, they're like, wait, we can't lose all 3 lanes. How about we pick a winning lane? But it turns out they just tri-laned, and they did really, really good early with that tri-lane. I think IG made all the changes they had to.
Yeah.
EG didn't.
And to comment, they actually crushed the tri-lane the first wave. They completely zoned the Lich AM out. But Crit with that Ice Ogre creep,
It is
unbelievable. The armor is significant.
Unbelievable.
But the attack speed and move speed slow. They actually just equalized the lane off of that one creep.
What would EG have done if they didn't find an Ice Ogre, is my question. Like, how do they actually solve their laning situation? This could have gone even worse.
I think they could have just lost all 3 lanes
I
way
don't
worse.
think there was anything that could have alleviated that lane
agree.
except that exact creep. So you
Also,
set yourself up in a
Abed did
pretty
do
bad position.
very well against Emo's Arc
He did,
Ward.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
when you compare that to the performance of Chris Luck earlier today, like that night and day difference. He was actually crushing that matchup at first. It just
Is AM, was that pick just, because it sounded like we all liked the first 4 picks. The AM is actually like the whole thing, you think?
As far as the draft, at that point, I think EG was in a good spot, and then they just shut down their opportunity to defeat this Arc Ward.
they have no playmakers. It's all on Abed. And
All right, we've talked
Again.
about a lot of the problems that happened. I want to talk about some of the positive things that actually went down in that last game.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about who the MVP potentially was, because we already have the Twitch chat ready.
JT.
It can't be anyone else in that
It's
game.
JT.
He
Can't be.
destroyed
If it is someone else, I'm going to be extremely mad at Twitch chat.
All right, well, let's see if you guys are right, because Twitch chat has already decided what the right answer is. Gentlemen, can we get a... Ooh, I don't even have to say drum roll. All we got to say
gonna be
is,
our
who is the
champion, man.
MVP?
Yeah, I figured. It's going to be Arteezy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a meme, and the thing is, it's not his fault. Well, maybe it is his fault. Maybe he did ask for AM, right? You never know in the booth. It could be Bulba says AM's good, we're picking it, or it's like Arteezy picks it. Who
it's
knows?
not even a good AM game.
That's actually a good point. Given the circumstances, he might actually have been the most valuable player of the game. His hand was just really bad. But he did well on AM.
He did. But
Yeah.
He could have been
picked
MVP.
it into
and,
3 stuns and an Arc Warden. Like, I get that AM can...
Well, do you want to go up there right now and talk to Bulba about it?
We're going to take a few moments to get up and close, personal with Bulba. We're going to have a strict talking with him, and we'll be back after we... I can't even say it. You go to the break.
Rick Gaming Esports, professional esports house maker.
just one more game of Dota for the day. Who will be sent home? Is it going to be IG or EG? We only got room for one to try to predict what's going to happen. We got Kyle, Sind, and Grant. We've talked about that second game quite a bit. I think panel's relatively surprised, to say the least. Do we think that this third game, this draft, is going to resemble that second one at all, Kyle?
I hope not, but I've been surprised before. I'll never forget, after the Chongqing Major, where EG rode Terrorblade through to, I believe, like the final series, the upper bracket finals of that major, right? They dropped down to the lower. Guess what they first two losses in a row, Rich?
I was there. I actually don't remember, Kyle.
TB, probably.
Yeah, how'd you know?
I don't know.
You'd be surprised. The enemy team knew too, and then they blasted them off the map. So
yeah, I think on the other side, though, for IG, yeah, we should see something similar. They just showed they play a lot better when they're the ones in ahead of the tempo, and I don't think I hope they don't go back and like try to do what EG just did, right, and like slow it down. They should just go pedal to the metal.
Look at the respect from EG as well, banning out that Centaur, because if you could isolate anything from that last game, it's JT being on a playmaker in comparison to just being behind on an Omni Knight. As Fogg was saying during the cast, he's Omni versus OD Razor. It's an unwinnable, unplayable game, and you're just dead.
He was 2,000 net worth up on his own carry. The Centaur was like he had a phenomenal game.
EG are still a bit concerned about it though. They banned it regardless. I do want to say though, on the topic of last game, I don't think EG need to make too many adjustments. Like, I liked a lot of their draft. I don't think necessarily that all the way until the end that they were in major trouble. I think, sometimes you drop the ball, maybe something in the game happened that they weren't expecting, and they still would have, if we asked them on the spot and we're like, was AIM a bad pick? They might say, no, it wasn't. We just messed up. Ramsey's died 3 times in lane, like it's possible that other things in that game went wrong and we just get to have the easy conclusion of AM sucks.
We look from above,
lost,
yeah.
Right? So
I want Arteezy on a hero that buys a BKB, preferably second or third item, right? The Razor did just that.
Drow, something like that.
Much like Fear before him, EG's carries have always been incredible at utilizing their BKBs. I feel like it's just been a hallmark of that role, starting with Fear, I guess. I don't want to go too far back in the past. There were some rough years for EG fans.
A couple.
You definitely don't have to go too far back in the past right now, because we're seeing kind of a repeat right now of the Open, at least, yet again.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt if they take Rubik. The problem is, like, Rubik Centaur is just a good lane. Is there any other lane quite like that for a Rubik if you do want to take it here? Like Rubik Axe isn't the same. Rubik Legion? Anything? Legion?
I might go Rubik Legion.
I could see a Legion commander, but I'm not sure I like it as much, especially because, you could go Lich Legion, I suppose, but it's a very different relationship picking LC versus Centaur into an expected Lich. Second pick from EG.
Yep.
And keep on, once again, IG will have overall last pick in this draft.
Gotta be careful, especially in a game like this. You're against Abed. You always want that last pick so he can't hit you with the meepo.
I like Lich Legion. Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Any other offlaners that like stand out? Oh, we won't have to wait long. There's the Legion, nice call. Sky, okay, the combo.
That's the other one that they've been running on Kaka when they have the Legion commander. I think maybe they were talking about picking the Lich, and they're like, if we do that, we will not get our Skywrath.
Yeah.
So they consider this a more important hero to grab.
And this also kind of removes the pressure from the LC to actually successfully win duels. Now, even if you Lich as EG, the Skywrath is still going to be responsible for 80 to 90% of the damage. Lich Frost Shield does absolutely nothing. It's also quite nice against Doom because you force EG to perhaps pick up an early pipe. Last game, it was Ramses on the Abaddon who did that. Not sure if I liked that decision, as it really just crippled his ability to accelerate in the game. But now you certainly are going to need one up against the Sky. Rushing a Glimmer Cape, also necessary. Although it's not as effective because the duel forces you to attack, thus breaking the invis and removing the magic resist.
I feel like they're thinking about Tiny here, but they might just go with Lich.
I'd go Tiny 100%.
I like
I've
Tiny
got Crit
more.
on my team, I pick Tiny.
It's like, because it is like kind of this weird kind of save against the Legion Skywrath, and it gives them a playmaker, and we always say, crit on a playmaker equals a better game. Oh.
That works too. Okay, that was banned out second phase by IG, right?
I think so. When they've had the Legion, they've been banning this hero.
And I like this. This is one of those heroes for Arteezy. The new style is much more of a fighting lifesteal. This isn't Midas Radiance any longer. It's early Maelstrom into the Halberd, but you can play a lot more aggressive, and it naturally gets him involved earlier in the game. I think this is ideal. It's also got not necessarily a BKB purchaser, but it's built in to the hero.
And if a Legion jumps on you, you should be able to click your Q button before he clicks his R button. And then you won't die to the duel.
That's a good point.
Against the Skywrath, at least, unless they get something else.
That's a couple of standout bans for IG right now. I think Lich has to be at the top of the list to still consider, even though you have Skywrath. There's just so much offensive capability for EG. Putting Ice Armor, or sorry, Frost Shield on Lifestealer makes him incredibly powerful. It's great for Doom to work around. Other options, maybe Winter Wyvern could be a pick for EG. Great against Duel. You're playing into Skywrath's hand, but you can get a Glimmer Cape, and then all of a sudden you
don't think IG would just take it third here?
The Wyvern themselves?
Yeah.
Or Lich, even.
It's a possibility. I think Wyvern is a really good hero against Lifestealer, regardless of the new or old version. You just have a BKB piercing long duration stun. I wouldn't put it past them to get their Bane again, though. It worked very well last game. It's good against Doom and Lifestealer.
They have laner too. I think that's
tons of damage and grip.
Thus far in the match, in this tournament, really, but specifically this series, feels like the laning phase kind of just determines who's going to win the
100%.
game. I got to be worried about TA as well if I'm EG.
Yeah.
Especially in the 22 pick spot.
Has Emo been looking good on that? I would say yes, for the most part. I think he hasn't like super blown me away, but he's played it solidly enough that if it's a good pick, they can go for it.
Yeah, he plays a little different than most, where he rotates a lot more. While other TAs will go back to the jungle, he plays a more aggressive style where instead of going to the jungle, he goes to another lane to either steal their jungler or just kill him, which I do like. And that's just Emo, he's just aggressive.
Yeah, it's similar to how he's playing Arc Warden, right?
Every hero, yeah,
every
exactly.
other player. So
he is definitely like a much different mid player than a lot of the, like almost all of them at this tournament. Man, they're using all of their time.
For the ban as well.
And they're not even banning to pick right here, yeah.
Okay.
Razor versus Lifestealer Doom, yeah, you kind of have to, I guess.
Fair enough.
And it's also not really understood just what Razor's power level is at right now, because we've only seen him twice in the main stage. He won both games pretty handily. And I'd be afraid of that. Were I in EG's spot as well. Now the coveted ban to pick for IG. As you said, I think you can ban one support, pick the other, or just grab the one you'd like, take out a core. Like the OD makes sense because EG might already have their offlaner here, and you don't want any hard save for duel, because LC Sky, if you have a scenario in the game where there's an uninterruptible combo, right? Just duel, Skywrath ult, boom. If there's nothing EG has that can save, that's like such a huge advantage, because anytime you get the initiation, you can take more risks because you know you're going to be almost guaranteed a kill with the open.
Makes me look for maybe a bit of creativity from EG's side. You could consider Shadow Demon as a possibility this game.
Oracle? I mean, Liquid's playing it pretty good. I know Fly plays it. It just, only Liquid's literally playing the hero, so something's up with it.
Yeah,
I actually, now that I see it, I think Razor was a better ban than both Bane and Wyvern, simply because Razor can also deal with getting doomed. Like if you have Static Link running, that's one of those frontline heroes that actually doesn't mind the Doom matchup too much. So
they ban the Oracle.
That's such an incredible ban from IG. We haven't seen it from EG yet in the tournament, but as you said, Grant, I think that's just perfect.
Yeah.
It effectively gives them all the tools they need, and it's a great against Skywrath as well.
Still think Shadow Demon will be on EG's minds now, especially if they were considering Oracle before.
Why doesn't that hero see more play?
I'm actually not completely sure. I think he suffered a lot with these like hard to spell heroes. Like playing against both Abaddon, Omni, and Legion is actually annoying. But sometimes, again, you need to look at the pros and cons. And maybe Shadow Poison is not that good, but if the disruption is good enough, it could be big. He just got even better. Now you have another single target spell that you can remove.
You've got to ban the Oracle if you're going to go Bane too, right?
Yeah.
That would have just instant dispel for the grip. It would have just been an insane game for Fly.
How about Silencer?
On 5 or? There you go, Chad.
I like it.
Tempo. Okay,
and
tempo.
It's also amazing against supports, squishy like these two, that have no method of clearing creep waves. You can just dive early on, before 10, 12 minutes, channel left, total dominance, and you can, in the ideal world, take at least a couple of towers.
Sind, how do you feel about the Chen here?
That's a pretty...
Oh, didn't
the
get
one
banned.
time they didn't ban it.
They didn't.
Yep, they let it through this time. Oh, this is a good Monkey King game,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Not gonna lie, it's really good against all three heroes of EG. I like the Chen though. You're playing into Legion Commander, who gets a pretty good overwhelming odds, but outside of that, the two supports, especially from IG, don't like this Chen matchup. They can't deal with Chen creeps very well. They have no D-push. And honestly, maybe that's one of the bigger concerns here when I look at IG's lineup. Their wave clear is actually pretty bad overall
Legion
for this
and
patch.
Boundless right now.
Yeah, Boundless and Overwhelm, it's not great. I mean, Skywrath is a little bit better than he used to be now that Concussive can hit creep waves, but it's not great.
The benefit of the Monkey King in this spot is that it's flexible. That's why Secret even used to open with it in their first two when they had mid one. Now that you see a Storm mid, you might look to dodge that matchup, Sind?
I think this is a completely playable Monkey King matchup. In the past, Monkey King won this match, this lane matchup. I don't know if it's that way anymore.
I think you're going to see Sky a lot mid too, which is going to cripple this Storm Spirit.
So the way it used to go is that Monkey King plays super aggressive from level 1. Like he's in Storm's face and he can dodge one static remnant with Mischief. It's relatively easy to time if you're familiar with the matchup.
Which he should be.
Yeah, and I think some Monkey Kings were even buying Orb of Venom in the start of the lanes, just running at him. You know, play on his hill, force him out, and take free CS. Every time you get Jingu stacks up, it doesn't matter how much Storm harasses you back from level 2 onward, you full heal on the creep wave.
The question is, this is a Doom off lane, right?
We don't know yet.
Possibly.
You need a playmaker. Well, I guess Storm is your playmaker, but...
Can we just crit Tiny? Delivery for the life
I will
stealer,
always say
toss
crit
out the
Tiny.
Monkey King.
You know that, so I'm always down with it.
I'm not sure how good Tiny is this game. Like, I know he's fantastic on the hero, but when I look at this EG lineup, I don't think he's the missing component overall. I think you want something that really binds them together in going as a 5-man unit, or you're not playing Chen's game. If you pick Tiny now, you're a little bit all over the place, I think.
So, like, what kind of hero then do you think? What's a 4 hero like that? Like an Earth Spirit, even?
I still think a Wyvern is a possibility here.
Nice call. You said they might look out for that last pick TA. They ban it out. Yeah.
Wyvern is pretty good against Monkey King. It's in emergency situations, it can be a cancel for grip. Can buy Glimmer Cape, which I think is really good in this game. He 5-mans with their Chen strat.
Could you Venge?
Also a possibility. I also like that more than Tiny overall in this game.
I would agree. Just like you already have your win conditions, right? You don't need anything crazy. Just try and ensure that your cores have a good time.
A 4 Venge?
I kind of feel like they're putting the Doom 4 and getting another 3, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, there's the Ramses. Yep.
So
You're right. 4 Doom.
Doom can go for auras as a 4, and then you can get a 3 that has a better matchup, because Doom's matchup into Monkey King, this is a really bad lane. If you don't have ice armor, which
We'll see.
fingers crossed, you might get it again.
You actually have to watch for that.
It's a really bad lane matchup. Veno is awesome against Monkey King.
Oh, yeah.
So I think you want to put Monkey possibly mid now.
Yeah,
you have
I think if you're EG, you could even follow the Monkey King around with your Venomancer.
You have a Chen.
Especially if there's a Chen rotating, right?
I think Chen is
true.
going to be
Very
a big X factor this game, just in the first 5 minutes.
Trying to think of what, I mean, God, I hate that I'm saying this, but Lycan is traditionally quite nice against the Venomancer and the Doom.
He would also be good this game, but nobody likes it, so we will not be seeing that here.
And I think because Fly's definitely probably playing the Monkey King, I doubt Emo has much experience, right? I think that's like one of the few heroes I'm like, I don't think Emo plays, so it's tough.
Down to 1 second remaining.
Dude, they really took it all. Okay, let's show you how to do it. Let's show you how to do
it could be coming. You're playing against Venostorm, Lifestealer, incredible matches for the AM.
Oh, and it is Emo Monkey King. All right, yeah.
The memes, if IG are able to win this last game with Anti-Mage, it's a much better matchup for him, and they truthfully will most likely win this game if it goes late enough. But EG, they've got to play with tempo now.
That's one of the first times ever that I've heard the crowd laugh when a final pick does come in. Very exciting, and now we get to see who's the better AM right after this.
Damn it.
gentlemen, time for the last game of the night. EG versus IG, Game 3. And let's hope it's a good one. We're certainly going to have some entertainment, that's for sure. This final pick from IG, they're picking the anti-mage. And you got to be honest, it's against the Venom, it's against the Storm. These are two heroes that the AM can be pretty darn strong against.
It's been in the past, it's been traditionally always looked as the Venomancer counter as well, because you don't really provide any type of disable, you don't really care if you're guild because you have that blink. Of course, versus the Storm is the very obvious one. And even versus Lifestealer, if you can get to the later stages, you will be able to carry the game. This could work.
I mean, that is the question, though. Are they going to be able to get to the later stages? Is there a possibility that IG is going to suffer the same sort of struggles that EG did in Game 2 trying to run the AM lineup? Or have they got smarter ways to play around with the AM and to make that space and time for Fly's anti-mage to come online?
I do think they have those heroes to space make. I mean, they have great kill combos is what I'm looking at. With the Legion in the sky alone, those are great kill combos. And then just Monkey King by himself is a hero that can just cause havoc on a map, as you are just able to traverse pretty much across from lane to lane at such a quick fashion. So yeah, I do think so, but the one thing is there's a Chen. I think Chen is the X factor that can really just look to pressure and close down games. Also Venomancer. This hero can pressure lanes very hard and actually set up to push things down too. But it's not like EG has these overwhelming pushing heroes to be able to take advantage of this AM pick. So we will see if Fly can bring it to Arteezy and show him how it's done.
I mean, as I said, either way, this is going to be quite the game to follow to see if that very, very painful turn of events is going to occur for EG, and that anti-mage they lost with is going to be the anti-mage that does defeat them in this very important Game 3.
Nice body blocks, get it, Ollie. Oh, okay, he tried his best. Tried to get that range creep blocked a little bit better. Lane will push. Now, because of this, actually, it's going to price through the same a little bit, because Crit, you see what he's doing, actually, he's cutting the wave already, anticipating that IG will set up their supports like this because of how they did the last game, right? The way they try lane secured right at the start versus the first wave, he's ensuring he can double up a wave so that Ramses can at least get something out of this bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, look at the three lanes. Is there a certain lane that you think we're going to see some severe struggles on one of the sides?
Ramses.
That's just...
I think he's probably the one that's going to suffer the most versus a Bane. It's going to be up to Crit to salvage it, and we see the Crits. He's actually doing, he gets another full wave.
All right, and he's going to grab these over and take them over to Ramses, or is he going to take them himself?
Take them to Ramses. He can't kill them now. Ramses needs those. So that'll at least like bail Ramses out a little bit of a very, very tough scenario. As I think that's probably the lane that I would say would suffer the most. The other ones, I can't imagine that a kill will come out unless someone's just very out of position. Like Kaka should be just fine up here. JT very unlikely to die as well. Maybe with a rotation that comes out from Crit, that's where we'll see AG able to get a kill, but besides that, nah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Crit's nearly pretty much brought the whole wave or two over towards Ramses under his tower.
Yep. He's like, here you go. You were laning. Bane was zoning you out. There you go. Let's see him zone you out of this.
We'll be under the tower, so we'll see how much Ramses can get out of this with his CS.
I mean, look what Fly is doing, though, too. He actually did not farm the wave. He is doubling it up so that he can deny a full wave from the Venomancer as well. And Ali will soak at least the experience that is under that tower from Ramses, getting all those last hits. So Bane will get 2 for 2. He actually gets he gets a third deny on a range creep. Will he get this one? Neither of them will. But I think he did deny at least 2 of the range creeps there. So pretty significant.
All right, top lane. Kaka was able to get Arteezy's curry. Arteezy does still have regen out on him, though. 3 tangos, and a salve that he will just go through right now.
Oh, that's just mean in the middle lane. Crit just comes over, and he's like, hey, you want to hit the Storm Spirit? Well, now he's got ice armor. So if you do hit him, he's going to hit you back more times, and you won't get nearly as much out of it. That's just rude.
JT. And both him, JT and Kaka, are getting harassed pretty heavily by the duo of EG. Mid lane. The matchup so far incredibly even. It couldn't be any closer. 14 for 3 on Emo compares to 14 for 2 on Arbed Storm.
And very nicely done by Abed. I like that he goes for the level in the Electric Vortex as well, having that to kind of pull the Monkey King away from actually just getting those Jingu stacks on you all the time, because otherwise that's when you see the Monkey King really take advantage of that lane. Also the Ice Armor, as I mentioned, will help Abed quite a lot to be able to keep it even. Otherwise, Monkey King likes this lane still quite a bit.
And really, the overall story of the lanes, the mids, the carries, they're farming, but the 2 off-laners, they are struggling. JT, though, I say they're struggling, but JT and Kaka, They just dived the tower and kill Arteezy underneath his own tier 1.
He was out of regen completely. He only had the one tango left. And they just take advantage of that one. Kaka, no mercy, level 2 concussive shot. They just have this burst damage that caught Arteezy off guard.
All right. And as I say, no, JT's not necessarily hitting a lot of creeps, but getting kills like that, it's now going to give him the chance to start farming himself. And it really is just only Ramses that's getting totally shut out at the laning stage.
Yeah, even though he did get a double wave fully pulled to him, he only was able to get 5 to 6 last hits out of all of it.
Oh, they've got to be careful on that top lane. I mean, if IG can get away with this again, diving and killing off Arteezy, this lane it's going to be a nightmare for EG. You would have thought that sort of the regen and sustain between the two of them would have been enough.
Yep.
But yeah, IG just seeing that beautiful opportunity to take a kill that feels like it shouldn't have been a kill.
And important to point out now, both of the supports, I saw them immediately when that 4-minute rune was almost spawning. They left their lanes since they recognized Storm has a bottle. If Monkey King is able to deny the Storm from getting a rune, then the Monkey King is just going to dominate the matchup, and that's exactly what happens. Abed's not able to get that rune. Emo gets himself a haste, and Abed just has to go all the way back to base to fill up his bottle.
Yeah, we've got a bit of backup for Ramses now. Crypt will move down and offer some space and some extra bit of pressure onto Fly to make sure that Ramses can get his foot in the game.
It's only a level 1 Doom, though. He really only just applies pressure by handing ice armor to Ramses at the moment. He will now get the level 2, but slow start for Crit. As he's a walking lane helper with that ice armor.
But overall, yeah, very, very free farm for Fly. 26 and 10. Is CS going unhindered in this bottom lane. Ramses cannot slow him down, and it's not like when the levels come in, it's going to be that much easier for Ramses to do this. He's got the point in the spell shield, Fly, and with the blink, he's never really under threat. Any attempt from Ramses to get aggressive, Fly, he'll be fine.
Yeah, this is a free farm game for the anti-mage for sure. This lane cannot put pressure on him, and it doesn't seem like many other heroes really can either. Like Storm going to pressure and AM even in the mid game is quite difficult, as you can just get turned and mana voided. Lifestealer kind of same. It's really just the Doom that he's going to have to worry about inside of that mid game, for the most part, if they're able to find him at least, because he's going to be hiding for a while.
Now Fly doing his best to try and keep the pressure off Arteezy. Arteezy with the chainmail and the ring of protection. He's got that extra bit of armor to start things off now. So a little harder for JT to harass him down, and with the levels now just creeping in for the lifesteal, it's going to be unlikely that IG between the two of those will get away with diving and killing Arteezy just between the two. They're going to need some backup if they want to go again.
Look at this again. They go for the runes. They find themselves an Infinite Rune on Kaka. There is a Sentry Ward in the lane. He also does not have, he doesn't have the silence, but now he does it 4. But Abed's, he's looking right at him.
He's going to see it. And he's got the 6. He's also got Crypt behind him. So maybe they themselves can punish Kaka for this one. But actually, Kaka is in instant with the Ancient Seals. There's no chance for a grab, and Abed, he's going to end up taking a lot of damage for this one. He'll try and turn towards Ollie, but there's no mana in the tank for Abed to go aggressive. Very, very instant reactions there from Kaka. As soon as he sees the Storm go in, he knows there's a sentry down and they've got eyes on him.
Yep. I love how they're checking the runes, though. I think this is something that's it's pretty basic a lot of the times when you see like, oh, enemy mid laner has a bottle and I don't. Like, you want your supports to do it, but the way they're doing, they know their side lanes are safe. Anti-mage is at no risk of dying, and Legion Commander should be at no risk of dying because you can just press the attack off the open wounds if they ever make an aggressive move. So excellent move by the two supports on the side of IG in these first 6 minutes. And lots of couriers are dying here. First rotation coming out. Emo, he wants to look for Arteezy. Maybe even look for Fly as he's walking up here. Yeah.
They'll go for the easier one. Fly, silence. Emo's on top of him. And Fly will... Sorry, Fly, not Fly. He's down bottom. He's getting aggressive on Ramses at the same time, burning the mana. There's a lot of Flies in this game. And the Crypt, he's there, keeping Ramses safe. In fact, Ramses is trying to turn and go onto Ollie. Ollie, heads up play, TP's out. Knows that there's going to be nothing to cancel it. And it feels like this is going to be a bit of the problem each time that Ramses does start to go on someone. They're going to have blinks, they're going to have TPs. They're not scared of the Veno at all.
Their only stun is Electric Vortex until the Doom ends up picking up a Centaur eventually, which we will probably see him pick up versus a anti-mage. But yeah, they are very limited on disables on the side of EG. So yeah, like you said, we'll probably like to see a lot of just TPs right in front of people. Because Infernal Blade as well, you don't skill that for the most part on Doom until much later. 2-0. Slow start in this game.
Yeah, pretty much even net worth.
Another courier. JT, he watches it deliver the item to Arteezy, and it does. Abed's courier.
It's going to try for the solo kill here. Crit's going to be over to help some onto Ollie, but Ollie, he gets the Nightmare and the Brain Sap. Ollie is still alive, and now with the silence, Arbed, he's only going to have a little bit mana for one more zip. Is it enough? He's looking for Ollie. Ollie's into the trees. They do have the damage to get it. The burst is enough. But now EG, they may lose heroes for this. Emo stays on top of Crit, jump forward for Fly, Boundless Strike to stop Fly from being able to get over to help Crit. And maybe because of that, they won't get any of the kills, because now EG, they've got the numbers. Ramses is moved over from bottom, turns towards Emo. Emo's trying to run, Arbed zips in. Arbed has got the mana he has. He gets it, he'll kill off Emo. But now Arbed out of mana in trouble. JT's trying to run in to get the duel off Crit. He's going to look for the body block, stopping Arbed from being dueled, but still JT, he pushes on, closes the gap. He has the duel to lock down Arbed, and they will get the trade between the mid laners. And maybe IG's not done yet, because Ramses, he's been left on his own on the high ground. He'll force Kaka away with the wards, but JT, Fly stay on top of them, and JT picks up the double kill. IG bringing in the forces, JT 2 kills and the bonus duel damage.
Yeah, bringing the AM involved early. When you see the storm start to rotate like that, you're able to do so as well. He ends up losing a lot of health out of it, though. He's all the way down to 200 now when he's going to be laning bottom, so not the healthiest. And as you said, Emo does die in the midst of it all. To that Arcane Rune. If Abed did not have an Arcane Rune, that would have been a completely different scenario, so.
Fly is low, but instantly with the Splash Shield, it doesn't matter though. They're able to click him down, and they're not done yet. Arbed zipping over onto Ollie. Ollie's got the stick charges for Arbed. He's got one more burst. It's enough. Arbed, another kill.
That was such a good play. They saw the anti-mage go back. Like you said, he was down to like 200 HP. They used the Chen Divine Favor to bring the Storm bottom and make that play. Yeah, excellent by Fly. Fly and Abed for sure.
Incredibly greedy from Fly to go back to the lane like that and feel that he can rely just naturally on the Ring of Health regen to heal him back up. It's always tempting as an AM once you have that to go back to the lane and show, but as you said, he just wasn't prepared and wasn't thinking about the moves that the Chen can enable.
Yeah, it just caught him off guard completely because they had a lane ward. So he was like, oh, okay, you know, I can see the tower, I can see if anybody's going to TP and make any move, but not going to be able to see that Divine Favor. Yeah. Great heads-up move by EG to bring themselves back in this one. 1K advantage, and during all of it, Arteezy was just sitting up top farming, and he's nearly got the Maelstrom finished up.
It'll be interesting to see sort of how the farm pace goes for both the carries. Arteezy with his Maelstrom, and obviously once Fly has his Battle Fury. You would have expected to be a little speedier in pace for the AM.
He blinked onto the range creep.
He's got the Mana Void, but one more hit from Arbed will do it. He's hunting Fly, has to blink up with the Mod Golem Stone. It's not enough. He needed a couple of them. The one will not kill Fly, so Fly will live. But I mean, you're seeing every time Arbed is making these plays that, again, bringing Fly so close to his death. They've got to be prepared for this Storm's movements as Arbed, he is being so active right now across the map.
I don't think we're going to see Fly like blink aggressively onto range creeps again, because he had like a double range creep bottom, so you can see why he did it, but almost gets punished as mid.
EG collapsing in past the tower, the crit, Mystic Flare combo's there, onto the Veno. Emo's going to lay down the Wukong Shimano. They lost the Skywrath, but they'll take the Veno and they'll set up another successful duel for JT. Fly staying on top of crit. We've still got a little time though for the Scorched Earth with the phase boots. We'll have the movement speed to get away. They dive in, they get a kill, but they're losing 2 heroes for it. And again, as I say, JT continuing to be in position every time to make use of the duel.
He is going to be a real big threat. If you see this Legion, he has a Shadow Blade pretty much done. That can catch off pretty much anybody on this side of EG. That is insane how far he is. 4-0-2.
JT had a brilliant game last game, and this game as well. His offlane performance, it's been amazing. Mid lane, zoom down onto Emo. We've seen Fly being caught out a few times a little too far on his own. Now Emo's got a full foul to it. They've got to respect Arbed, because Arbed, every single time he sees an opportunity, he is immediately in and on top of them.
Yeah, I like how aggressive he's playing on this Storm Spirit too, just giving the space for Arteezy to farm.
It's going to be harder though, as you said. This is such a quick Shadow Blade.
How fast he has it.
This really could start to trip Arbed up. These sort of plays where Arbed is going in, committing a lot of his mana to get these guaranteed kills. JT's going to be ready with TPs, Shadow Blade movements to punish the Storm every time that happens. So Arbed, he's now got to be prepared himself to be that little more cautious about how he goes aggressive.
And when you go for these type of builds, like a Shadow Blade instead of going for something like a Blink, this is like, I'm going to scale. Like, I'm not just a dueling kind of guy over here. I'm not just sitting back and pressing attack my allies. No, I am looking to be a scaling core in this game.
This could catch Arteezy off guard. They're not going to expect this early Shadow Blade. So JT's able to get in close off the back of the duel, set up from the shadows. I mean, already Shadow Blade purchase paying off immediately. That sort of kill, knocking Arteezy off the map and giving Fly the chance to have this farm, this space. And they can keep doing this. RTZ's got to be so careful. He's going to want to go to his jungle on his own. He's going to need backup now because JT is always going to be on the hunt.
I can only imagine how the comms are right there. It's probably like, holy shit, this guy's got a 12-minute Shadow Blade. Like, we got to be very careful. So now we're probably going to see more sentries get purchased up, and they're probably going to start blanketing some of those entrances into jungle with like an observer sentry to be able to watch the movements from the Legion commander when he's off the map. And we do see Spirit Vessel tends to be the more natural build now on the Venomancer that we do see a lot of the times. Very good versus Monkey King, though, as you prevent a lot of that healing that will be coming out from Jingu Mastery. But it's usually just the build anyway on Venomancer, as it synergizes so well with your Poison Sting to reduce even more HP regen.
We'll see where the next player is to be. JT, still over on the top side of the map. RTZ keeping very close towards the tier 2 in the Shrine. He's got to be in position so that he knows that if he does get gone upon, there will be an opportunity for backup to TP in and help him.
They've given him sentries. You see that. Actually, Ramsey's being the one to buy the sentries this time around, it looks like. Arteezy's actually placed a sentry right in the middle of his jungle so that he can farm safely.
JT preparing for action down here. There's 3 members of EG around, and in fact, the team zip.
JT's here.
With the silence. JT's there, ready to catch him with the duel. Can they kill Arbet in time? They cannot. The heals are there from Fly. Arbet's good to fight. He'll pull in on the Monkey King. Emo with the quick dodge. They haven't got the damage to commit onto Emo under the Wukong's command, so EG will have to back off. Now Arbet, though, no, he's back in. And he's got the magical burst. They get Emo. Ramsey's with the poison damage, pushing them all back. Ollie's going to tick down low as the second will fall. EG getting aggressive behind that tier 2 and continuing to play wild with Arbet's hunger for action to happen.
I think Abed's a little lucky that maybe, well, he read the scenario, but he saw that the Kaka had low mana on the Skywrath. If Skywrath has more mana there, it's likely that he gets Mystic Flared on top of that. Even with the heals, he could go down, but a good read by EG, able to now pressure this tower and even bring Arteezy down. They know that they need to kick the pace up of the game.
I mean, they are. That's now up to a 3K lead. They know very well themselves after that last game. If they can keep this up, this anti-mage is not going to have time to be in a position to do anything at all. And as you can see, just the pace that EG's cores are playing, they're all in the 6K net worth, over 1,000 ahead of the anti-mage. IG's going to need time, and EG, they know very well exactly how to bring it to them.
Yep. We're still going to see IG playing in the same type of manner, though. 3, 4 heroes just looking around, hunting, trying to find these kills, while JT just sits off the map. Sit and farm. How close is he? He's still far away from the Battle Fury, isn't he, huh?
This game really slowed down after they, sort of killed him a couple of times and pushed him back out of the waves. He's had to resort to sort of full defensive farm in the jungle and on the top half of the map where EG is unlikely to be playing. He's getting some sort of space in the jungle. Ollie, he's been found. EG's prowl as they move around the map as 4, taking kills as they wish. IG have got to be so careful about being caught out alone.
Even like sometimes these like 5-position kills don't mean too much, but in this type of game, you're just giving Spirit Vessel charges to Venomancer.
And they're going to find JT hunting in the jungle. JT is trying to run, but Arbet just brings him back with the Vortex. He's going for a very ambitious duel.
But he gets it!
JT with the heads-up play. They're going to get Crit as well by looking for the 6 charges pop. Crit's running back towards the Shrine. The Shrine will heal him up. Crit will be fine. But JT, this man, he's a madman, and he knows that he gets away with it. Emo as well. He knows there's nothing to stop the TP. TP's out right in front of the 4 heroes of EG. But JT just continues to impress in moments where it looks like there's no way out of it.
And again, look, another one. They go for, he secures the last hit as well, of course. He knows he wants to be scaling core. This is insane.
JT 5-0-4. He's been involved in every single kill that IG's got so far this game.
As an offlaner, which is always impressive.
And as a Legion, a hero that we've seen fall flat on her face in many games. But JT, he is making this hero look like the perfect pick this game for IG.
Yep, and now they're looking for another move. The duel, it's back up. He's Shadow Bladed. Ramses, don't get greedy for those range creeps.
Oh. It's number 2. Oh.
Just on the cusp of it.
They haven't got the Mystic Flare at the moment, so they know there's not enough burst. JT's being smart. He doesn't want to be too crazy. Doesn't want to commit 20 seconds, and Mystic Flare will be up. He's going to wait for that and look for the guaranteed kill potential. They've even got that additional help now of Kaka having a full rod of Atos.
He's got it very early again. Unlike that last game where he's not like 5-0-4, but still an 18-minute mark. He's got the 3 points in silence too.
This was scanned out by EG, so they should be... It should be very unlikely that they get caught out by this move. IG will make the most of it, get some wards down. But EG knew that there was some action happening around this river area. Arteezy is still going to start to head down to that bottom lane. He's got to be careful.
We didn't mention, but it was pointed out by the observers, of course, that there was a Ring of Aquila picked up for Flyfly as he was pretty much picking up his Battle Fury. So very fortunate for the anti-mage this game getting that. So he's got a little bit of bonus stats in comparison to Arteezy's AM in the last one, who didn't really get all these stat items. He has the Ironwood Tree, he has the Ring of Aquila, so he is a little bit stronger and gonna be able to farm that jungle a lot faster.
This is EG, they're trying for Roche, but it's gonna be pretty slow. It's going to take him a little bit of time. We'll see if IG catches wind of this. It doesn't look like it. IG split up. They're still hunting for sort of that pickup down bottom.
It's very unexpected.
Yeah, you don't expect it from this sort of lineup that EG has. They can obviously do it safely with the summons, with the wards, slowing down and kiting Roshan up.
They're going to get away with it.
They are. IG, I know, you can't blame IG for not checking this out. They do not expect this to happen as EG get in with a full 5 and secure Aegis for Abed. So now Abed, he can go back to his wild ways. He's got that second life to rely on.
Yeah, he can play a lot riskier. We see him immediately jump toward top to try to set up something to start some type of havoc. And
Emo's not getting out. Crit slams him down. Emo is gone. EG, a Roshan, and a good kill.
The creeps, they just walked by the bait there for a second. A little bit of miss micro, but now he will be able to catch up to him anyway. Centaur stomp. Easy setup for Ali. Nice play by EG. Just
Very nice.
You said, what were we talking about? Very unexpected for a lineup like this to just be able to sneak into a Roche pit or just do a Roche at all. IG getting caught completely off guard of that one.
IG just still continue to avoid the action. They know Flyfly really needs to have that item done on top of the Battle Fury before he can really turn up and get involved. He's pushing it onto the tier 2. Now they'll start to sweep back a little bit. They know it's likely that EG's going to come over and look for action. They don't really want to take the fight on EG's half of the map, especially when EG has that Aegis on Abed.
It's go time now though for Crit. We see the Blink, I believe, is coming out on the Courier. He's got the Centaur, and he also has Doom available. So he can look to go hunt around for that anti-mage now. Since he has the long zip that will be coming from the Storm, and as mentioned, the Aegis will allow this Storm, allow Abed to really play a lot more aggressive.
And they've found him, or have they yet? They do pop the dust now, and they've no messing around for Crit. He drops the Doom, make sure that there's no way of playing his way out of there. It's Abed and Crit, they have been hunting this whole game and finding kill after kill, keeping this lead for EG.
Abed's, I cannot believe how aggressive Abed's playing in this game. 7-2-3 on a Storm Spirit when you're playing versus like Skywrath silences and an anti-mage who can just like jump in and mana void you. So very heads up play from him how aggressive he really is playing. And look at this, immediately he TPs to top, he sees Emo, he wants the Monkey King.
Emo, he's trying to go for the Wukong's pick. Abed's just got so much magical burst, he's just outplaying him. So he's 8-2-3, bottom lane, Ramses will be gone, and Hand of God's popped, and Ramses in the tree, he's fine, and now IG, they're in trouble down here as well. Jump forward for Crit, they'll kill off Kaka. As EG 40-9, 7K lead. At this game, it's slowly falling into similar territory that EG suffered with in game 2 with their own anti-mage pick.
Yep, they're able to just hunt all over the map because they know the AM is not liking to get involved too early. But now Flyfly, he is getting involved. They're looking for Fly.
They've got the duel.
Done.
It's slowing them down, and Abed's going to be able to come in and help turn this one around potentially. Flyfly has to blink out, but Abed, he's diving in. He's so hungry for action. He's on to Flyfly. The nuke's happen. The heal's there. JT provides it, and Flyfly will be able to blink back to safety. But it's got to be so scary playing against this Abed Storm. You could see no fear there, ready to dive up to the high ground to look for these big kills.
Yeah, relentless aggression all the way up to, he's up to 17 charges on the Bloodstone now too. So yeah, he can zip and he's got this extra mana regen. He's really making Emo's life quite miserable on this Monkey King.
Emo needs some sort of protection. He's queuing up the BKB and the Aghanims, but his game has been heavily slowed down.
They know he's in these trees right here. They're actually just gonna cut it.
Abed breaks the tree. Emo throws out a stun, but there's no way out for him.
They're spam pinging it the whole time.
Yeah, they just can't play around this Storm. Abed, the pace that he's played at, not something that you see every day from Storm players. But he has done exactly what's been required to keep this game in a position where Flyfly's anti-mage, it really is struggling just as much as Arteezy was in game 2.
Yep, he doesn't want to get involved until he has Manta. He does now have that Manta though. Let's see if he can actually look to join because EG, they're knocking on the front door. Age is still in hand.
And Abed, diving to him forward, dragging back Kaka, Crit's there with a double jump in, stuns him up. It's just more and more kills for EG. They'll look towards the racks. I mean, IG, they cannot push them off. The Rex are going down. EG's going to clean up this middle lane. It's 23 minutes in, and IG, they've lost the mid set of Rex.
They're doing such a good job with this lineup. With their sustain, with their Chen, they're able to just get so much. I mean, it's really just Abed's doing so much work for this team. Like the rest of them, they're supporting him in kind.
Oh yeah, they are, but he's the leading force.
Running away with this. And again, he TP's top, he pushes it out. He's getting recalled back in from the Chen.
Crits dusted JT. Here comes Abed, grabs in another. JT is dead and gone.
I mean,
you cannot hide from this storm.
Yeah, if this isn't some like hashtag Abed, I don't know what would, because he is just running away with this one. IG, they're gonna need a miracle right now. This anti-mage, he's got the Manta, he's got his level 18 finished up online, but the other cores have died so much in the last few moments. And look at this again. Okay. He's all mana this time.
He's crazy.
Forcing a buyback.
That's the Aegis gone. So Aegis no longer there for Abed. He is going to get his mana and health right back up to full, though. You know, he'll still certainly want to look for action. And we are still yet to see sort of the big fight where Fly turns up. And as mentioned early and in the draft, there are strengths that this anti-mage does have against the core heroes of EG. And we've got to see them in practice. Still fundamentally, though, as a hero, the anti-mage feeling very weak overall. We've got to see what Fly is able to produce this game off the back of all this farm that he's had. It's down bottom. Crits hunting. He's going to go for this. Fly's not going to be tempted to mess around with this at all. Gets out of there. No point of poking at this big old Doom, especially with RTZ hiding inside him.
Yeah, he probably like clicks on Doom. He's like, this Doom has no stat items, but has 2,600 HP. Wait a minute, something suspicious is going on here. So yeah, I mean, making an aggressive move there is unnecessary there for him too. He's now top.
He's ready to go in. Kaka, there's the jump. Kaka will lay down the Mystic Flare.
It's a big one.
Does bring the Doom down low. Wukong's command of the Boundless Strike. And now with the Feed Screen, they've got the grab. Fly turns up, looking to help out. He's turning towards RTZ, burning the mana. Can he kill Artur? He cannot. The sustain is too much. He's still trying for RTZ, but RTZ will live. He turns towards Fly. Will get it, but the Stoker Crit saves the Doom to drop down on the anti-mage. 4 dead on IG. Make that 5 as Abed cleans up. EG team wiping IG. It's 23-11, 30k in. That was the fight where Fly turned up, and it didn't look any good at all. This anti-mage pick that EG seemingly showed us last game how terrible it was. IG, they're also showing us how terrible it is this game.
And if anything, it's like, in this one, it's versus a Venomancer and a Storm.
And
so
it's still
if it's not working in this game, this hero is really starting to show its absolute weaknesses. Excellent buyback, though, from Crit there. He gets taken out of the fight, he buys back, finds the anti-mage, gets the Doom, and now from here, it really just looks like the game is over.
It's the second set of racks. IG letting this game slip away, their last chance to stay in the competition.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
As EG really back in full force here in this third game of the series, as we keep saying, Abed in particular. Obviously the supporting cast of EG have enabled him, been able to move him around the map, allowing him to go in aggressive. But that's the Abed, he's going to do it every single time. In he goes, onto Kaka, starts to play around the backlines, but they have lost the Lifestealer. Abed is going to retreat now that his carry is gone, and now maybe even more pain for EG as Fly jumps in. They'll use the stun, focus down Fly. He's got the heals, but Fly and Emo will definitely continue to chase this. Jump forward and a slow, Fly will fall. Slowly, they're going to let JT have it. They know they don't need to rush to kill him. They secure JT more dual damage, and they do hold things off as they had to back off. RTZ, he just dies immediately, and Abed, he has to get out of there. He knows that without his Lifestealer, in a 5v5, it gets a lot harder, and they cannot afford to push when RTZ falls first.
Yeah, he needs to be a little bit more careful. He was just playing very confidently forward, just got silenced. They have no way to actually protect him. They have heals, but they don't have anything like a Forest Staff to actually pull him outside of that Skywrath ulti. He just gets completely destroyed by it. There's a pipe to negate some of that damage, but it was just a bit too much. Okay, so still some small breathing room for IG, but they need a couple more of those in order to be back in this one. But the BKB, we saw it now from Emo. Some more strength. JT also now has been kind of forced to go for a Blink Dagger, even though he wanted to go for a BKB to be a scaler. I think he's starting to realize that he can't actually with the way that the game has gone. He has to be a sit back and press the attack the anti-mage so that he can get saved in particular. Paladin Sword does drop.
And out with the smoke again, EG. IG, will they get caught out by this? The 2 scans off the mark.
All EG really needs to do is just get down toward that bottom one. If they can just get this Doom on this AM, he will go down. He does not have buyback at the moment. He committed for the Basher. So they are able to actually find this AM. But they're going to play it a little bit more patient. Roche is back up.
Yeah, they could look to just fall back and take the CG.
Radiant's top shrine is under
They'll feel pretty good at doing so. The team fight obviously around this area, not too scary really from IG's lineup.
They have a Arcane Rune on the Storm Spirit. Level 20 on Abed with an Arcane, with an Orchid, 25 Bloodstone charges.
This is scouted out. They'll kill the courier for it. IG know this is going on. They are going to try and contest it. They're coming over off the back of a smoke. It's falling pretty fast though, EG. Now taking this Roche, it's down to half. Can IG make some sort of big play around this? They're leading around from the back, and in fact, EG's starting to back away from the Roche a little bit, getting ready for the jump that IG's going to want to make.
They're going for a huge wraparound here, getting the high ground. This might catch EG off guard.
Let's see what sort of focus they can go for. They're going to look to jump it straight away onto Abed. They're trying to blow him up, so they have the damage to do so. Abed falling low. They've got him.
Down.
Abed's dead. Dead for 75. Inside the pit, EG are able to finish Roche, get the Aegis on Arteezy, but they've lost Doom. Abed buying back, looking to commit. The Wukong's command still out there, focusing the Monkey King. It's a deny, but he's still dead. 4 dead on IG. It's all left to Fly. He's the only one left alive. As EG still get Roche, they still get the Aegis, and they still get that huge team fight win. Losing Abed did not matter. He was ready to buy back, get over to the shrine, push their advantage, and now EG with this Aegis, they can look to go high ground once more.
Did Ramses cast the Lincolns on the Storm there in the slightest second and block? I think he blocked the Mana Void with the Lincolns. I saw it block, but I didn't see if he casted it on somebody or if it was on himself. I think he cast it on the Storm. Not sure if Abed would have popped, but either way, such a quick little play. And nice wraparound there by IG, but with the buyback from Abed, it was enough for EG to be able to take that fight and immediately to bottom.
And they're ready to look for Megas. Abed, big zip. There's Glimmer K, will get him away. Kaka's going to be fine. And they will have Monkey King back in the game in a few seconds, so still able to hold on to that final set of racks, IG. And for EG, obviously Abed has to be a little careful. Buyback being used in that last fight.
Yeah, and he didn't get this Aegis, which he would have liked to, but at least he has the cheese in his hands to be able to protect himself. As the only way he probably won't get that cheese off is he's either grabbed by like a Fiend's Grip or a Duel. He should otherwise get that cheese off in most of the scenarios. Still in a pretty comfortable spot. 16,000 gold lead, 10,000 experience lead. 96% as well on that Dota Plus win rate.
And that 4%, again, it all rests on the AM. Can Fly do what seemingly seems to be the impossible, especially for this hero in this day and age? He's got the farm, but he really is the only one. He's the only core that has any sort of power now at this stage to get the kills onto these massive heroes that EG have now grown to. This Abed Storm Spirit, he's the hugest problem. They've somehow got to get the jump, the lockdown, and the explosion with that Mana Void to have a chance of winning any of these fights.
And make sure he's not getting like Lincoln stuff so it gets the Mana Void blocked. Because we're going to see Ramses definitely trying to throw that out to protect his high mana core. Here we go. Lanes will push it out for EG, the top and that mid, and they're ready to go for this last set.
So what they're going to do, Silence onto Arteezy. Bursting him down low, looking to pop the Aegis. They won't quite be able to do so. Arteezy's Aegis will live to see another day.
He'll go inside of a creep. 1,548 HP range creep, look at it go.
Heals up, back to full, a quick blink away from Fly, separating himself from the life stealers. Arteezy focuses the racks.
He cuts the tree again.
Looking to clear the trees, and he's found the Monkey King. The heal will be there, but the Doom is down. Crip with the 4-up, he's on to Emo. Emo is dead. They're pulling another. The control from Brit is too much. As they've got to buy back here in full force. IG Fly will blink away. Arteezy out of mana. Emo revs up the Wukongs. They're controlling Arteezy. Can they kill him at once with the Fiend's Grip? They can. They burst the Aegis. Can they take him down a second time? They're trying to stand on top of him. Fly, they turn. Bricks back in with the stun. Abed's going for the backlines. They've lost Emo. It's a dieback on the Monkey King. Bane in trouble as Abed forcing him back to the fountain. Another kill for him. 3 dead on IG. They do not have buybacks available as EG. They take the mega creeps. They're moving on to the tier 4s. And with only the anti-mate and the Scar left to defend, there is no hope for IG. Fly will fall. He has a buyback, but it doesn't matter. GG is called. And EG take game 3 and take the series 2-1. EG's going to be moving on one step more here in the lower bracket, and IG, they're going home.
Abed just put this team on his shoulders for sure. That was an unbelievable performance by him on the Storm Spirit. Ramses as well did have an excellent game. 7-2 and 18 ending up on this Veno. Love the itemization with that vessel, with the pipe, even going for the Lincolns afterwards. They grouped up, they brought it to IG. They caught Emo so many times in the mid game.
They did.
Abed just zipping through the trees, finding him time and time again. Well executed by EG and IG. They fall, and Anti-Mage just loses a game that looked pretty decent when he's versus the Veno and that Storm, but the Chen, the overall game plan from EG was too much.
I mean, and I guess sort of the big brain play from EG, you know, that game 2 anti-mage pick, it was all a ploy to sort of lull it into the minds of IG, and it worked. This game 3, IG trying the anti-mage themselves, and it really didn't look any better, even in a situation where, as you said, in the past, these heroes, the anti-mage should be strong against, but it couldn't do anything at all. The game was far too fast, and as you say, Abed, just the star of the show, his Storm Spirit,
Unreal.
It's always been on top, and here's another performance for the books.
He played that one so well. I haven't seen somebody play Storm. The last time I saw Storm play that well in this tournament, I actually think it was Emo.
Yeah. A bit of a taste of his own medicine, Emo, that game, and unfortunately the end of the road for IG. But panel, I mean, what do you reckon? Evil Geniuses, they're doing it. They're moving on one step more towards that championship title. They've still got a bit of a way to go, but they're looking pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, Owen, I think the only thing we probably have to say here is Anti-Mage really sucks, doesn't it?
I'd have to agree with you, Rich. You've become a Dodo expert already.
Didn't take too long. Didn't take too long at all. Hey, let's actually talk about why Anti-Mage sucks so bad. Why did Anti-Mage pick not look good in either of its games, Grant?
Me, I want to listen to Cinder and Kyle.
I mean, the name of the game is mid-game right now, and EG, I felt like, exploited the laning phase. They took towers really early on. They'd find a kill. They killed tier 1 bot and mid by, I think, like 10, 12 minutes. It's a huge edge. Anti-Mage net worth is like 6th place, and even though, sure, it's great matchups, like it's not the same game anymore. You don't have the luxury of getting a 40 minutes against this sort of draft.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous to pick Anti-Mage into Chen Veno in general. Like the tempo that these heroes want to play and take over the map. You can have good matchups all you want, but if the map falls apart that quickly, you know, it looked like a competitive game largely because I think JT overperformed that. He did so much more than you could even ask of a Legion commander that game. Just incredible performance. It's just still not enough. Would have loved to see IG pick a hero that's online earlier. Another weakness of their lineup, in my opinion, just if you look at their strategy right here, their team fight is extremely limited. Legion Commander, Monkey King, Anti-Mage, Skywrath, Bane. There's like no AoE stun, there's no AoE silence or control of any kind. You look on the other side of the coin, you have the Venomancer, you have Chen AoE heal, you have Taunts of Mobility, you have some really key spells like Doom, right?
Yeah, Crit turned himself into an initiator. Also, Ice Armor is busted. The fact that he's able to pick that up in the laning phase, it just kind of negated any sort of edge IG would have in a lane with Doom in it. And it's so good against melee carries. How does Monkey King play Dota in the early game when every time he hits an enemy, he's just slowed by 30?
Yeah, and I know Fogg talked about how Abed kind of carried that game. Ramses was the highest net worth on a Veno at like 30 minutes into the game, which is just crazy. I mean, they both played the best game of their series. We said that in game 1, but it looks like game 3, they managed to one-up themselves.
You know, we have plenty to talk about right now, but it's going to be a lot more fun if we push those pillows to the side and get to do it with Arteezy. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Arteezy. EG still in this one. Looking phenomenal there. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What up?
So, nice to have you here, Arteezy. We got plenty to talk about in this one. Do we want to talk about Anti-Mage at all? I know we were joking around about it a little bit.
Well, I guess we could clarify, because obviously you're the carry player. You would have asked for it in game 2. Was that just to set up IG to think it was good for game 3?
I don't know, I just wanted to win one game with it. I feel like I've been losing a lot of games with Anti-Mage recently, so it looked like a really good AM game. I think they thought the exact same. It seems like this hero might just be hard to run in this patch. Yeah, we both learned our lessons today, I think.
Yeah, I kind of want to ask a big picture question here because obviously IG put up a great series against you guys just now. They will be eliminated, but it did look like a fantastic series. Both of you were taken down by Vici. When you look at Vici and Secret, do you feel like these two teams are the scariest squads?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think VG just like, they're dynamic among each player. They play like the most organized Dota team I've ever seen, in my opinion. Feels like they're always together. They're always on the same page. They have their flaws, but they make up with it. Like, they're just an amazing team. Secret is more of like the individualistic kind of team. They have like very strong individual core players, and obviously they play well as a team. I think both teams are like, they're kind of different. It feels like VG is very team-oriented, and Secret's more so like, I'm in your face with your core player skill and stuff.
Yeah. All right, very, very important to keep in mind. We're going to be taking a look right now, though I just heard from production, at the MVP, who's probably sitting on the couch right now, if I know Twitch chat at all. But let's get the drum roll and take a look at who won MVP.
Who do you think should win?
It's not me.
Who do you think should win?
It's not me for sure. I think I almost threw this third game, so it's definitely not me. Yeah.
There you go.
I would say Abed or Ramses.
Yeah, Ramsey had the top net worth, by the way, like 35 minutes. He was insane.
Yeah, he was making some very good calls, and it's something obviously you guys don't know, but he was making great calls in the game. Abed played really well, though.
What do you think you guys need to do? You talk about the two different styles right now. I'm already looking big picture. I'm starting to think about tomorrow. I'm starting to think about the rest of the tournament. You talk about the two different styles of Vici and Secret. What do you think you guys really need to do as a squad to be able to take them down and make it out of this lower bracket and take down the whole major?
Our series against VG was eye-opening again. We felt like maybe the series against them in Singapore, we got 3-0'd, and maybe it would help us, but it feels like every time we play against them, it's something like they do something new or something, they refine something that maybe we thought was a flaw earlier, and hopefully, although today's games were pretty close and probably any team could have won all 3 games. Maybe not the first game, that was, but the second and the third game, you know, yeah, I don't even know what I was saying.
Yeah. Also, I do want to say I spent most of my time in Twitch chat, and they were spamming that cheesy for you the whole time. Is there anything you want to say to everybody who's watching here and at home?
Shout out to the Twitch chat for the text support, basically. Yeah, thank you for all the people watching. Shout out to the sponsors, of course.
Gang, gang.
Where's that coming from?
I have no idea. It's been freaking me out the whole event. They got some weird ones back there.
My friend.
I've been waiting for the Keck W sound. I asked them to load that into the soundboard, but I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard it yet. Just all. Okay, I'm hearing right now. We're going to keep on rolling with the show. We're going to take a look at everything that's coming up over the next couple of days. Arteezy, you're free to go. Everybody, make one last round of applause for Arteezy. Congratulations again.
Yay. Thank you. All right, thanks so much.
All right, let's take a look. Now that the dust has settled, let's take a look at our championship bracket and see who is left with us after all these elimination series. As you can see here on your screen, we talked about Vici and Secret quite a bit, Grant. They're going to be sitting in the best place that you can be in this tournament right now.
God, that's a good-looking bracket with some damn good-looking teams. When you have to decide, like, who's the worst team in this tournament still right now, and it's between EG, Alliance, and Liquid, you know it's a damn good tournament.
Yeah, I just love that we get Alliance versus Liquid to play EG, and then Vici Secret again.
It's so good.
It's,
I actually think, you know, I guess it was around second day of the tournament, third day of the tournament, where all of a sudden we were going to game 3 nonstop. Some of the best matches I think we've seen in a tournament all year.
And what I think I enjoy the most, we even saw in like that Na'Vi versus Liquid series, I feel like the teams have sort of embraced some of the ridiculousness of this patch.
Agreed.
It's like, Philosopher Stone, Repair Kit, look at this here, like, well, it's just kind of wonky. And the teams are just having fun with it, and everybody left now is pretty comfortable. Anyone in the tournament effectively has their TI slot secured at this point. So you're just playing for pride, for a little bit of cash, and for the title, right? There's some players here that have never won a major that really want to take that title home.
I would say it's... I agree with that all these teams are probably going to TI, but they definitely want to win, especially, as you said, some of these players, these Liquid Alliances, right? Because these teams are pretty much just considered like, oh, they're good, but they're not great, and now you have a chance to prove it, right?
I know Liquid and Alliance definitely want to go head-to-head as well. It's going to be an exciting matchup. Then you get to see them go against EG, and there's that mentality of they need to crack this top 3. They need to get to the grand final for both of these squads, regardless of DPC. But ultimately, we wouldn't be able to do any of this without our sponsors.
Oh.
And it's going to be it for today, but I'm ready to get this started. We looked at the matchups already. We're very excited to actually get back here, but I do want to say thank you to Ray Gaming, Mercedes-Benz, Corsair, and Monster Energy, and a big shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for staying here very late. Thank you for watching with us, and a big shout out to all of you guys at home. We're going to see you tomorrow. Have a good night.